Hi. So this video is about my first year in Germany. So when I arrived in Germany, I thought I was prepared. I had my bags packed, had German courses for 2 years at the Goethe Institute in the Netherlands in Amsterdam. And with my German being at C1 level, I told myself I was ready for anything. But nothing had prepared me for the quiet, relentless challenge of starting a new life in a new country. Finding a flat was not easy, and my flat in Berlin was much more expensive than that in Almere. Also, it was impossible to find a parking space where I lived in Berlin. When I arrived and parked the car in the wrong place, one of my neighbors shouted at me, and that was my first day as an expat in Berlin. Great, it was a really nice welcome speech. I was shocked, I will not forget it. Anyway, the frustration did not end there. There was also a letter about paying the tax for the government TV stations like CDF, R&D. The amount also shocked me because in the Netherlands you don't pay that. Also, one of the letters that came was the Anmeldung. So I sat in my small apartment in Berlin. I was looking at official papers and was trying to Google everything to find out what I had to do and where. Yes, and I also got one of the first things I did was get a German phone and get a German contract. So Anmeldung was not simple. It required an appointment booked in advance, 3 months in advance. So that's like typical Berlin. And so I was worrying because 3 months and without like Anmeldung, maybe I cannot open a bank account. But fortunately, I found the Deutsche Bank. They didn't care, so I did open my first account at Deutsche Bank. But it's very expensive. So yeah, but at least they were flexible. Also, work was very challenging because I was working remotely and my boss was in France, and then my German colleague complained about the company all the time. So it really made me question my choice. Um, Also, I had to find a health insurance, which was kind of challenging because I didn't know anything about the German insurance companies. So I was so finally, the company I was working at, they gave me a recommendation, so I went along with it. But it's not the best company, and I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, it is how it is. And what I found the most challenging was the loneliness. I felt so lonely. It was like you're there and you have no friends, no family. You work remotely. You don't know anybody. So what I did, I also joined the expat community in Berlin, internations, and then I joined the salsa dancing, and I also joined karate because I used to do karate in the Netherlands, so I want to continue with it. So it kind of, eventually, slowly, I started getting to know people, but it was still hard because you starting from scratch, and all these people know each other, or like they all speak fluent German and you don't. But in Berlin there is like so many foreigners. But anyway, so I kept on meeting new people. But the thing is, with expats, so the problem is that they come and go. So they come, they get a new job in Berlin, they come, and then they will leave like after 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, and then you're like back to zero, start again. So it's difficult. I also, started dating because I was single, and I found that dating in Berlin was also, like difficult because you have like loads of first dates, and usually people are extremely picky. So maybe the man will say, oh, the women are extremely picky. I would say the men are extremely picky. So a lot of times the man would like, you have a first date, and then you don't hear anything back from them after the first date. And then so usually, if I was not interested, I was like, thank you, that was it. I don't think we fit together. But just like ghosting was like typical for Berlin. So it was easy to get a date, but then usually after the first date, you didn't hear anything. So yeah, but at the end, I did have a few relationships, but they did not really work out. What I also noticed after living in Berlin was how much the Dutch culture impacted me. So in terms of dating and in terms of friends, So looking back, I do miss it. I didn't realize that it impacted me that much because I'm actually Eastern European. So, I thought I was pretty much Eastern European was. I was in the Netherlands, but now I notice, oh, the Dutch really impacted the way I think and the way I see things. So, yeah. So now we're 12 years further. I still have those one. I also met a great girl here in Berlin. So she was my neighbor. We get along still very fine. Then I met another German woman. She's also one of my friends. So I would say after 12 years, I have two people that I can call friends, which is not much compared to how it was in the Netherlands. Because with the people in Netherlands, I'm still in contact with them, even though I haven't seen them for a long time. So I find it's much more difficult to make like real friends, that stick with you. And also I'm pretty introverted, so partying is not my thing. So sometimes, well, when I was younger, yes, it was fun, especially before kids, but it's not my idea of fun. My idea of fun is go sit somewhere where it's quiet, drink something, have a conversation, walk in the woods, walk somewhere. I hate crowds. They irritate me. So yeah, I'm pretty slow. And spending time alone, I like it, but you do feel lonely. I do miss the friends. I do kind of miss my old life in the Netherlands. I complained about the Netherlands before, but Germany is a different level. So would it be great if you could, if you're also foreigner, if you share your experience, how it is for you. And if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and I'll be posting videos on a regular basis about my life here in Brandenburg now, not in Berlin. Okay, thanks you for watching. Bye bye.